That is the new Jaguar F-Pace. And in just a moment, I'm going to tell you what's so new about it. But before I do, I'm going to tell you something you should really know. And that is Jaguar's just made an announcement. They've announced that by 2025, all of their new cars are going to be electric only. That means that F-Pace could be the last Jaguar you own with an engine. You better pick the right one. That's what I hope to help you do. Now those are the time codes right there. If you just want to jump ahead, you can, rifle through it, pretend it's a sock drawer, go for your life. And down there, the chapter markers, same thing, go for it. Now if you want to read the full review, go to carsguide.com.au and give us a like and subscribe. Everybody is, it's free. Design. Ah, it's beautiful. Oh, not that. That, the F-Pace. So the F-Pace came out in 2016, and even after all these years, I still think it's the most beautiful SUV in the world. But there have been some changes. Here's what's new. There's a new face. The bonnet now goes all the way to meet the grille. The previous car had a nose cone. This looks far better. The grille is also larger. And see those shapes in the mesh? It's modelled on the shape of the Jaguar Heritage logo. That'll impress your friends at the barbecue. The new headlights are slimmer, and the LED running lights have this new design too. The tail lights are different too. The previous ones had the dip moulded into the tailgate. Now they're a blade, but the dips are still there in the LED design. And it's still a very big hat tip to the F-Type sports car. And its rear bumper has been redesigned too. The F-Pace's insides have been updated as well. Just about everything you can see here is new. There's the larger screen. The climate control now has these chunky knobs. And the steering wheel is new too. And it's goodbye rotary shifter and g'day to this regular upright shifter with cricket ball stitching. It's a sporty, luxurious cabin. Price and features. Do you want to talk prices? Let's talk prices. Okay, that's the entire lineup right there. As you can see, it starts at $76K for the entry grade car and heads north all the way to the SVR for about $142,000. It's worth it though, it's amazing. Now you'll notice as well they've all got R-Dynamic in front of their names, and that's because the R-Dynamic pack's been so popular that Jaguar's just made it standard on all of them. You want to talk standard features? Me too, let's go. All F-Paces come with the new 11.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's keyless entry, push-button start, dual-zone climate, power-adjustable front seats, leather upholstery, those LED headlights and tail lights, and the auto tailgate. The Entry S and the SE above it come with a 6-speaker stereo, while the HSC and the SVR come standard with a 13-speaker Meridian sound system. Engine specs. There are 4 engines to choose from. There's the D300, which is a turbo diesel. There's the P250, which is a petrol 4-cylinder. There's the P400, and that's a 6-cylinder inline 6 turbo petrol. And then at the top is the big daddy, or the big mama. It's a 5-litre V8, the P550. Now, all have 8-speed automatic transmissions, and all are all-wheel drive. Practicality. The F-Pace is a 5-seater mid-sized SUV. Now I'm far from mid-sized myself. I'm 191 centimetres tall actually. But I can still sit behind my driving position. Look, that seat's in my driving position. I've got that much room, that much. And headroom. Headroom's excellent back here too. Storage has been improved for this F-Pace. And in another win for practicality, the location of the window switches has been changed. That's right, they used to be up here and I complained incessantly to Jaguar about it. Now look where they are. Down here. You're welcome. Do you want to look at the boot? It's around the back. Come on. Come on. Okay, so now, oh, you've gone around that way. Yeah, so the F-Pace has a 509 litre boot, which is pretty good. Pretty good for the class. What? Okay, let's drive. Driving. All right, let's go for a drive. Now I'm in the very entry car, the P250. Now it's not the D300 with the turbo diesel, it's not the P400, the inline 6, and it's not the big daddy SVR, sits at the top of the range, but you are still getting a brilliant SUV in this P250. The 4-cylinder, if you're worried about it not producing enough grunt, do not worry. It makes 180 odd kilowatts, and that's plenty of grunt. That's V8 outputs from, you know, a few decades ago. So don't worry, it's still really grunty, and it's very responsive as well. 8-speed automatic transmission is good too. Okay, so what's new? The suspension's new. When I say new, it's been tuned. So what they've done is they've softened it a little bit, made it a little bit more composed, especially at the back. The rear suspension of the old car was quite firm, so you'd come around a corner like this and you'd hit a mid-corner bump like that one just there, and it would feel a bit skittish, quite brittle and firm. This one is a lot more compliant and a lot more composed, and oh God, this is good. This is the entry car and it's really good. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by how much fun this is. Look, also fun is the P400. That inline 6 in that car is brilliant. I drove up here this morning in it. It's great. If you don't step up to the V8 and you're hunting for torque and power, then that inline 6 is hard to go past. The steering feels as sharp as it ever was. It's always been a really sharp steering car. You only have to think a direction and you go it. It doesn't have luxurious steering, which is like, you know, you get into some luxurious SUVs and it's just this big long bus wheel, or this big slow bus wheel that takes ages to turn and is very light. This is a little bit heavier and a lot more direct, so you only have to sort of like do that and you go that way like that. It's very good for sporty driving. Now, what's visibility like? Because you're going to be driving this daily. Look, I've lived with one daily. I've reviewed the previous one. I've viewed lots of incarnations of it. And look, the rear window is quite small, but you've got a surround view camera. This A-pillar does not get in the way at all. It actually curves around so you can see past it pretty well. And those rear windows are quite large too. And there's that rear quarter window is quite good too for visibility and parking. Ah, this is good. Seriously, how they can make an SUV behave like a sports car, I don't know, but this feels good. Yeah, great handling, good comfort, and what? $76,000 for this particular car. I do like that inline 6 though. All right, should we talk about safety? Safety. The F-Pace was given the maximum 5-star ANCAP rating when it was tested in 2017. Keep in mind that it is 2021 now, but still, it comes with AEB, blind spot assistance, lane keeping assistance, traffic sign recognition, adaptive cruise control, front and rear parking sensors, and a surround view camera. And there's this, Jaguar badge. And the reason why I really like it is because in the old model, there was a big plastic plate around it. That plate was the adaptive cruise control radar plate, and they needed it. Now they don't anymore. Do you know why? Because they made the Jaguar badge bigger and it sits right there. Much neater looking. Fuel use. Jaguar says that after a combination of open and urban roads, the fuel economies range from 7.0 litres per 100, 7.8 for the 4-cylinder petrol, 8.7 for the 6-cylinder petrol, and 11.7 for the SVR 5-litre V8. You didn't think I'd remember all those, did you? Well, I tell you, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that a plug-in hybrid is not in Australia, and it might not come either. Ownership. Ah, didn't know that. Whew. Oh, sorry. As far as the warranty goes, Jaguar's got some pretty big news as well. There's a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty now. That's much better than before and very good for a prestige car. As for servicing, service intervals don't really exist. The car itself will tell you when it needs to be serviced. And as for paying for them, you can pay as you go, or there are pre-paid plans. Oh, wow. Look how much room they give you to write notes. Look at all that note room. Plenty of notes. Love a good note. Verdict. Okay, it is score time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give each section an individual score out of 10, and then I'm going to give the entire F-Pace range an overall score out of 10. Now, let's begin with design. It's even more beautiful than it's ever been. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. For practicality, I'm giving it an 8. Big boot, plenty of rear legroom, really good rear headroom, and also the window switches, they've moved them down. Thank you. For safety, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It's got all the things you expect it to have. It could do with more though. For ownership, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Well done, Jaguar, for moving to a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty. Also, if you're getting one of these cars, go for the prepaid plans too. 8 out of 10. Okay, for price, I'm giving it an 8. It's pretty well equipped. It's leather from the base car up. There could be more there. I'm not going to give it a 9. I'm giving it an 8 for price. For the engines and transmission, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Again, that 5-litre V8 is brilliant, but so are the 4-cylinder petrols. 9 out of 10. And fuel economy, I'm giving it a 7. I know, shock, horror, but I really believe that it's 2021 and there needs to be a plug-in hybrid in this range. There is a plug-in hybrid F-Pace. It hasn't come to Australia yet. I'd like to see it here. Now for driving, I'm giving it 8 out of 10. I love the SVR. We haven't driven that today, but I have before in the past and it's brilliant. But even the lower grades such as the P250 are brilliant to drive as well. 8 out of 10. Now the overall score for the entire F-Pace range comes to 8.1 out of 10. Now, if you want to read the full review, go to carsguide.com.au. Remember, give us a like and subscribe. Oh, and don't forget, 2025, we've got 4 years left of Jaguars with combustion engines. This could be your last one. Remember that.